Howdy, and welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. So today in this video, I'm going to attempt to resurrect the Rust Rover, my 89 Range Rover Classic that I've had kind of parked in the back of my yard for the last month or so. Just had too many vehicles in the driveway and on the street, so I kind of decided to, put this back in its original safari setting. Which, it's not the best thing. I don't like having yard cars at all, but it kind of fits the aesthetic back there, and I wasn't too mad about it. So let's see if it'll start up and see what it looks like, because again, I haven't really touched it in about a month. And we'll get it cleaned up and hopefully back on the road here. So, it's been sitting here for a while. It's rained probably a lot. And it probably rained about every day last week, a couple inches. So it's almost like it's sitting in its own filth. These bamboo stalks back here have been kind of falling on it. I'm sure it's full of spiders and stuff because there's holes in the floor. But it's looking kind of sad. Definitely has an interesting smell to it too. But yeah, like I said, it's been here for the past month. I haven't really touched it or tried to do anything with it. I've just been kind of busy and traveling, so not a whole lot of updates on it, but as you can tell, it is filthy. So let's see if it starts up, and I'll pull it around and we'll give it a bath. Oh, all right. Definitely has a fun smell in here. Oh, that's a good sign. Whoa. All right, so she fired right up. This car doesn't really have like a parasitic battery drain or anything like that. These are known for, which is pretty nice. Not a whole lot to worry about on that front, but yeah, start right up. So let's, we're gonna drive her out of here, and hopefully she's not stuck in the mud. All right, so I got it pulled up, and it's running nicely. Make sure there's not too many critters in here. But yeah, it seems to be running smooth. Had a bit of work done to it in the last few months. New brake fluid, lines and whatnot after the brakes gave out a while ago. I also recently changed oil before I did the trip to the farm. So again, all good things recently. All the other fluids look fine, radiator fluid, diff fluids and whatnot. So really right now it's just, reinforcing the floors. But let's get this thing cleaned up and kind of brought back to life a little bit. All right, so I got most of the big chunks of shmoo off. Still idling nice. Temperatures are still good. Looks a lot better when it's not covered in dirt. But yeah, so let's probably take it for a spin in a little bit. Make sure everything's functioning fine still. Not sure how I feel about the space booster on the top. You know, this car, I do have some larger plans for it that might involve some semi-lengthy road trips, and it's always good to kind of be able to keep a little more additional things in it, especially since the inside's not super watertight. So that's a story for another day. But let's take it out for a spin. All right, so yeah, really haven't driven this in a couple months. Quick run in the bank, brake check, brakes work. It's always good. This thing looks pretty alien on the normal roads. If you're just a normal driver going by, to see this rusty hunk of crap emerge from a backyard and onto public roads. I love it. But everything seems to be fine, which is great. Like I said, in order for a project car to really have a lot of potential use, it does have to be usable if it sits for a while. Some cars, they sit for a long time. It just takes a while to knock the cobwebs off. All right, I wasn't in overdrive. There you go. And this one, it sat for 15 years prior to me owning it, so it's pretty used to it, and it's not going to hurt it that much, which is good. So, it really. I don't feel as bad as I would with other cars I've owned letting it sit. I think that is the conclusion. And like I said, it's not unhappy to do so. But yeah, I really did miss tooling around in this thing. I used it as a work truck, put through lawnmowers and whatnot while the F-250 was down. And this was on the docket this year for getting some internal fixes, but that might get delayed again since I do have to fix the radiator support in the truck and a bunch of other cars. Paint one of the sides of the jet. I mean, the list goes on. And the LR3, which I forgot about, which I'll make another video on that one, the update. It's at Sports Car Workshops right now. The plan is give it a good once over. I looked at things up, and I think that the red brake light indicates low brake fluid, which probably means there's a leak in one of the lines, most likely a rear one. Land Rovers have a service life for brake lines. It's 8 years, so I'm assuming that's what it could be. There are also new upper and lower control arms, oil change, and probably the diff fluid. So not a small ticket, but I would like to baseline that truck because I do think I got a decent deal on it, and it is worth putting some money into. But we'll see how that ends up. I'm sure it'll be ruining, and I'll eventually give up on it. But but as far as the Rover is concerned, pretty happy. Always turn to that temperature gauge, but it's been very solid. So yeah, nothing too much, nothing throwing any red flags yet. That kind of works. All right, made it back. Rover's fine. Like I said, it's nice to have a vehicle that is just at a state where it will start, run. It's a running project, but I don't have anything. It doesn't have the immediate needs of anything mechanically. It's just structural, just no floor, blah, blah, blah. So the Rover's fine. The status is the same, but let me kind of go into the rest of the cars in the fleet and kind of give you a quick update of where I am with everything. The white E36 has been doing great. Again, had the clutch replaced and everything. It's been fine. I just recently lost AC though. I plugged in the gauge and it shows it's reading high pressure, which makes me believe that the AC compressor is not coming on. So I have to kind of do a little more diag to figure out what that issue is. I tried the relay, swapped the relays around. That wasn't it. So it's going to take a little bit more time to kind of, do a better job diagging what's going on there. The 911, haven't driven it all that much still. I think I'm going to end up doing the IMS on it, which involves selling some cars to potentially pay for that. So that's sitting in the garage. let's go check out the rest of what I have in my house right now. So the Macan's still doing great. Again, we took about a 1,000-mile road trip up through New York. Put a bunch of miles on it. Actually just had the oil changed at, I think we put a few thousand miles, I don't know. We bought it at 66, 67, has 73, so 8,000 mile oil change interval. But other than that, get the tire pressure monitor lights cleared, so good to go. I think we're gonna end up keeping this car. I really do like it. It's fine. You know, cars like this, you have to make a decision whether or not at around 80, 90, 100,000 miles you're going to keep it or sell it. And it seems like at this point we're going to lean towards keeping it. So that's all I got on the Macan for now. So the 300D, unfortunately, this one might be on the chopping block. I just don't drive it enough, and I have to bring it to Tyler and the guys at Sports Car to get some maintenance done on it, and then it might be for sale. So again, I know I mentioned something in the other video. Obviously, you know, I don't have the money to fix everything that I need at this point. So I think I'm going to settle on that decision for now. There's something going on with one of the pulleys. It's making a weird noise. So I got to get that fixed and a few other things. And this will probably be for sale. Land Cruiser, again, since I've sold the two Volvos, the V50 wagon and the 240, this will go back to daily duty until the LR3 is fixed. Only problem is I've got a slow AC leak. It just doesn't end. I had to fill it up once a month, and I don't see visually where it's coming from, so that's a pain in the ass, but for now it's fine. The 323, the E36, I just did 1,200 or 1,300 miles up through Pennsylvania with it with absolutely no issues. These Continental tires that came with the new wheels are old. They're 10 years old. They need to be swapped out. That's going to be the next expense with this thing, and maybe some tie rod ends or something like that. But again, these two cars are going to do daily duty for the next while everything else is getting fixed. The Jag's not here. The Jag's also at the shop getting some tie rod ends and just getting looked at, because I've never put that car on a lift or had it inspected by anybody, and I've got a feeling it needs some things. The truck is going to go into a little more daily duty the next couple months. I know I've left a couple cliffhangers, but we're in the process of buying a large piece of property in the Blue Ridge Mountains, which will facilitate using this vehicle and the LR3 a lot more than I have before. There is a long wooded dirt and gravel steep driveway which requires a lifted vehicle and four-wheel drive. So I'm pretty excited about that. More to come on that. I know I mentioned in the last couple of videos, but this needs the radiator support. You can barely, oh yeah, there it is. It needs that radiator support, you know, swapped out, and it does have a slight coolant leak from some faulty water pump, blah, 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 the previous owner put on. He didn't do it right, so it's leaking. So that is actually the next on the list after the LR3 is done to get fixed, then the Jag, and then I can probably take a breath and I won't have any money left. So this might pay for some things. I really don't want to sell it, but I just can't. I know I talked about it in the last video. I'm going back and forth. I just don't have anywhere to store it. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So that's all I have for this video. Appreciate everyone watching. Please subscribe. I'm in the stage of changing up the collection and coming with a slightly new direction for the channel. We've got some interesting cars in the docket that will be coming up soon. I've got a replica Fiat Abarth convertible. It's a 65, 66, I forget the year, but that's going to be on the channel soon. We bought the 2002 Chevy 6.6 Duramax quad cab. It's getting some body work done. Haven't seen that car on the channel yet, but will be featured in a little bit. We've got the Oldsmobile wagon. Got to fix the brake lines, and the two manual discos. Again, talking about them for a while, but might try to get through the inventory so we can get those featured. So that's what I got for now. Appreciate everyone watching this video, and subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thanks.